Try this again. No, we're still over here. The difference between black and white frequencies. Is there a difference between white and black frequencies? Is there a difference between white and black frequencies? Oh my God. Differences between white and black frequency. Well, it looks like they don't want me making videos on they shit no more. Fuck you, how about that? Record that part. I got something better. We'll just do this. Make it make sense, black people. That's all. Where the fuck you get a sound from if black and white are outcasts? White trash and black trash are outcasts in the grand scheme of life. They don't count as true. God hates liars, so that means God hates white and black people. Because you ain't true. I don't know what else the fuck to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you. Let's listen to this. No, I won't play. It's some bullshit. The tone and that sound. I don't know how what you listening to, if it's outcast and not true. Wow. Fucking amazing. Oh, wow, they playing my shit. We'll do this. To help you out. Outcast. Not true. So, outcast. Which sound is the outcast? Ain't nobody dope as me, cause I'm fresh so clean. Fresh and so clean, clean. The coolest motherfucker. Shake it like a Polaroid picture. Come on, shake it. You know what to choose. Come on, shake it. Amazing how my shit's not playing. Wow. What's the odds of that?
Tone of that sound, you know, which is in me.
What defines talking black? Like that's the real question to me. Because talking black to me is an insult when you say you're talking black or you're talking white. Yeah, that's because I choose to pronounce my words. I'm not talking black. I'm totally black. I'm black. Yeah.
I'm totally talking outcast. I'm totally talking untrue. I'm totally counting as I don't fucking count. So no, ain't no laws to protect black people. When they in power, then go create your own empire. Then you can make your own laws. So then, we fuck with this type of white and black people. And look what he said, his title. The Beast. Remember the first video? That first hour about the Beast? Let's see if we can find that. What's going on here? We don't want to talk black? Come on. Somebody don't like the truth. Let's see. Nobody wants to talk black. Damn, that's fucked up. I thought we was coming to talk black. One that don't count as true when it comes to physical color. I'm calling myself a non-physical color. I got a non-meaningful language. I have an ID that I've adopted that does not protect me from shit. I have a history that goes no further than a few niggas and sand in a couple oases with the helmets looking like birds and insects. And they're just Egypt. That's it. Outcasts. Don't count as true, nor physical colors. I don't think anybody in history has ever called themselves black until 20th century. And in fact, Commission is made up too. Because a land cannot make a black man. A man can make the land black, but a land cannot make a black man. He can turn a man black, but he can't make him black. Somebody can tell you black, and you can do some shit and black thought. But those who know the truth in physical colors know that you're dead. You're lost. So the question would be, can these dead bones speak? Yes. And they will. And they will. I don't even know if I'm recording. I don't even know if I'm recording. Alright, we go. Surely as a kid learns how to use words. So he's already saying, Keith Cross, a professor of education, University of Hawaii, at Manoa, says, as surely as a kid learns how to use words. Okay. So black and white are outcasts and don't count as true physical colors. Let's just start with those words, Professor. And you're teaching children. But in this case, he said kids, which he's talking to goats, the pet people in that earlier video. Let's talk Black Oriental, the one that's an hour long, maybe. Go back to that one and catch up to this last one here. So, Kemet couldn't be black lands if they're knowing that black and white is not a color. But the fact that the land was dead or worshipped the dead, then it makes sense to be called what? Black land. Because somebody already had the name dead already. Let's find out. Remember, black and white don't.
They learn how to use them in the ways that they're being used.
What is it you know when you know African American English? When you know it as a system, when you use it as your native language? Speakers of African American English, from my particular viewpoint, are the
your particular viewpoint don't count. Black language or black color. So if you add a black woman, you're saying what? You're not true and you're not what? an incast, but an outcast. Come on. And she's a linguist at the University of Massachusetts. There's another black flaw in black language. We'll get to the Oriental next. If we can stop spinning this shit. She look familiar as hell. This is some fuck shit, y'all. That's why I like Google, man. They don't give a fuck. They let your shit play. They don't give a damn. This goddamn MSN Windows shit. They so fucking political. Like, man. Just play the damn video. Come on, man. This is crazy, y'all. This is crazy. The judgment on the black woman. You're being replaced. I know you figured out, Google. Cause you the shit. You see what happens. I'm going between operating systems right now. Let's see what happens. That's what I'm talking about. Google don't play. Let's get it.
What are those speakers who grow up in African American English speaking communities?
Many people assume that Black English is one thing.
They get it right. They get it right. Yeah.
All black people speak it pretty much the same way. There are many, many types of Black English here in the United States?
Certainly there.
Alright, hopefully I can see that. I doubt if I can see the shit. Oh, what happened? Alright. Something just popped off here. Welcome to my shit.
There are differences that are regional differences, but I think there's some core aspect, and I think that's shared by many, many, many speakers of African American English. But as a speaker who grew up in Southwest Louisiana, I do things with African American English that I might not expect my counterparts who grew up in some other areas to do.
If I walk up to him, I say, "What's up?" I'm speaking. I'm saying, "Hey, how you doing?" I ran into some guys from New York up there in the middle of here. We're in a big Burger King getting something to eat. I'm standing in the line. They stand beside me. I'm like, "What's up?" And he just turned to me like, "What's up?" You know, to them, what's up?
Now, once again, word up, what's up? What is that saying? What's the frequency on that? Well, how does saying what's up classify as black linguistics? When all you do is point your finger to the sky, and that's universal. But if I say what's up is strictly a black language, now I'm an outcast to what? To the truth. Because the truth is, we've always pointed up, and we've always pointed down, and we always pointed left to right. It was called a compass, because we had compassion for the truth. But if you hear what he said he went into the store in New York. Because where he's from, what's up is natural. How you doing? But when he got to New York, he almost got into a fight. You see the outcast, the untruth, the mixture, the Pink Panther, the confusion. Why we can't build, because we have this black frequency or this black language that don't count to be true. And I can't tell you that I'm my brother and sister's keeper if I keep telling you, yeah, I'm your black friend and my black language is the best. Knowing this truth, knowing that the color spectrum, that all colors called earth tone in itself earth tone. What type of tone did the earth make? Okay. What colors is earth tone? We got that. What color is man? We got that. What tone do a man make? We got that. No problem. But as soon as you put black man, huh? What? Jigga who? Mike Jones who? He did what? Where they do that at? Huh? For real? No. Bang. Pow. You see how you got stupid all of a sudden? Bitch. Fucker. I'll kill you. Now you feel the vibration. We're going downhill fast. Who's ever watched? You notice how your energy listening to this shit just went down fast. Welcome to Black Thought, Black Culture, Black Language. Let's finish. Let's see what else we say.
I mean, I'm like, no, I was speaking. I'm from Mississippi.
See?
I'm in between Cali, St. Louis, Chicago, Detroit, Philly, New York. You'll get a different greeting. That's just the start. I can go down to Atlanta and say, what it do? Detroit, what up? New York, what's up, sir? Cali, what up, blood? You gotta be careful where you at. You say blood, though. But they know if you say, what's up, blood, it's family.
Well, I'm from a place where we don't use the dialect that I use here, but I'm able to maneuver with it. So you might hear, what up, shorty? What up, though? And I'll just give them something that I had from Detroit. It'd be like, what up, shorty? I'll be like, what up, though? Or if you go to New Orleans, say, well, hey, Wody.
Because I'll make the connection on taking black out of our language and putting Oriental. Then you'll be able to say, oh shit, I talk the language of the Orientals, meaning the originators of the shit. And if you knew what you were saying, you wouldn't call yourself black. You wouldn't be a part of an outcast or language is untrue, but you'll be part of a true in-cash color spectrum earth tone, always been God frequency, as in Yah Allah. And the Yah Allah or the body spirit can come in you, because the Yah frequency is in the arm, leg, arm, head, that's embodied in the man. You become what? A 4 dimension, mind, body, soul, and a spiritual action. And then that is your actions. You walk as a living star on earth. What they would call a earth angel. But since you want to be black and talk about things that are not true, and physical, and you put on a physical color that has nothing to do with your physical existence. How we know? Because you change your color or your costume and your way of life every 10 years with black, African American, coon, nigga, and now they're promoting black is the new orange from a prison movie. And everybody's wearing orange as if they're going to work, not knowing you're being constructed into a construct of more outcasts. In the Bible, it said who? Who are the outcasts in the Bible? That's all I want to know. In the Bible, outcasts is what? How can I start it over? That'd be the fuck shit, man. It's messed up. Why can't I start it over? Because it's too big, that's why. Now, in the Bible term outcast, black and white is outcast. It is not true. In science, physics, color, the whole nine. And in your black religion, and in your orange religion, Halloween, Christmas, Christianity, it is used to represent the form of the Bacha or Nahat, both meaning thrust out. Jeremiah 30:17. Outcast means thrust out of society. Who's thrusted out of society?
The language gives you access and it'll give you a barrier. So the best thing to do is use it for your access.
Now, what do access mean to black people? To be outcast is your access. That is your access. Instead of being in with the Most High, you have to have access to the outcast. You rather be exiled, Israel, black people. You're exiled in language, in thought, in word, in deed, in existence. You are an exile. You are an outcast. You're a degraded person. You are thrust out of society. God damn, it's 2023, motherfuckers. And by the church, they include those who feel rejected by God because of moral failure. God damn. Let's get back to this professor shit. Now that we know what they're teaching, how to be a fucking failure. Let's get it. Black Talk. Live and direct. Come on. Look at it. Failure. I ain't make this shit up.
From an African American background.
She's telling him a
but
failure.
I went to a predominantly white
Come on.
school.
See? Failure.
And even when I was younger,
failure.
My black family members
failure.
would make fun of me and call me white girl.
Outside.
White girl, you talk like a white girl.
Rejected.
You talk like a white girl because they lived in a more urban area.
Failure
and I
by
lived in the
society.
suburbs. So all my life it's kind of been this. I talk like this.
Rejected
with this
by
group of
God.
people, and then I talk like this with
because
this
of
group
what?
people.
I think a lot of people are surprised at how much individual speakers can actually shift. I use sort of mainstream ways of talking so much in my professional life that a lot of people doubt that I actually speak any other way. But when I'm outside that professional setting, it really is sort of my language of comfort. It's my language of home. It's my language of family. It's my language of friendship. I think you can look at middle-class speakers and assume that they don't speak African-American vernacular English because all I'm hearing is standard English. But what happens is that a lot of middle class speakers do what I like to call code switching. I consider myself to be a code switcher, but I don't spend a lot of time thinking now I will use the vernacular. So this is a girlfriend that I'm talking to.
Because let me tell you, that daycare tuition ain't no joke. It ain't no joke. Yeah. But I only got a few more months, girl, and we'll be out. A few more months. This is it for us, girl.
The great.
The last one is me with my mom.
Exile.
Where you from? I was like, Columbia. What part of Columbia you don't know about Hags? It's like the suburbs. And he thought that was just so funny. But I'm like, I don't know nothing about no doggone Hags.
Listen to the conversation. Outcast.
With any kind of
Thrust
code
out.
switching, I think it happens
Exile.
below the level of conscious awareness.
Black. Unconscious
I'm
as
talking
fuck.
to my sisters. It's very casual, it's very comfortable, but when I'm talking to, other people, or when I'm talking to
exile,
it's like, for them, it's like I'm a different person.
I'm a degraded
And
person.
And it makes you self-conscious, and
Makes
it
you
makes
self-conscious.
you feel, for me, as though I was not necessarily being true to myself or being black. But then you come to find that it's okay.
See? Stop. You cannot meet people where they are. What? Exile? Degraded? Pushed out of society. And moral failure. I didn't make this shit up. I didn't make it up. It's not black society of moral failure. Let's speed up a little bit.
When we start being more critical of those,
You kill a monkey, boy, look what they gave you.
closely, then
Look who's teaching you.
we've got a lot more opportunities to help kids.
I'm really actually quite tickled when I move into classroom spaces and I
Professor.
see how facile kids are with language, even if they're not,
Listen to this shit.
adept as we measure it
Listen,
on the test with
Professor.
English. But they are so adroit at moving back and forth and talking to one another and volleying. And we don't know how to, fold that kind of energy, that kind of skill into the test that we're using to evaluate them that then has some serious consequences for their mobility in American society.
Because language and identity are so closely tied, if we value more language, then we also value more student ways of being within schools.
This country, if this person says he be going to work,
The average.
The average citizen who encountered the term ebonics, let that marinate. Let that marinate. Not only God says outcast, exile, degraded, Lucifer tells you, Satan tells you, but out of the abyss of hell, somebody comes up to say, hey, fuck the truth, because the truth is not in you, according to the color spectrum. We're going to call this shit ebonics and make this shit above God and everything else. This is what we're going to do. This is what we've decided to do. We've decided to go against the angels, or the angels, the angles. We define all logic by creating a degraded person's language. Degrading that language of exile people. Creating the language of people who morally are failures in morals. Develop a language for who? people who are thrust out of society. Now, what are we supposed to do about the outcasts? What are outcasts? Let's see. We'll go to restoration of the black man and the black woman called Israel and Judah. Let's try that. What are this black outcast talking about? What are they talking about? Because you got to be an outcast in order to celebrate 4th of July tomorrow. You got to be an outcast to celebrate anything on this world, because if you're a friend of this world, you're an enemy of God. You're an enemy of truth. You're an outcast. You're dejected from God. Proof. Scripture. Jeremiah 30:17. But I will restore you to health and heal your wounds, black man and black woman, declares Yah, because you are called an outcast. Ain't that what I just said? How do we know you're an outcast? Because black and white are outcasts and don't count as true physical colors. Black and white are outcasts and don't count as true physical colors. So I gotta go get the Pink Panther. See, who are what? Result of mixing white, black. You the pink motherfuckers who's mixing white and black. Now we got this gray area that rainbow means that male and female, sex, nature, natural don't matter. Just mix everything. Fuck it. Party. Fuck it. So we went from Black Panthers to Pink Panthers. God didn't even make a Pink Panther. He made Black Panther. We can use that. But we can't use Pink Panthers, niggas. And you got the black woman pushing out Pink Panthers out her womb. Thank you, Black Goddess. Thank you, Goddess of the outcasts, of the untrue, of the liars and the wickedness and the clowns and what? Devils and demons. How we know? Because somewhere I just read that Jeremiah said this: I will restore you, black woman and black man, to health, okay? And I will heal your wounds. Now, you do the 4th of July, I ain't fucking with you. You forget about it. Declares the Most High Yah, capital L-O-R-D, not little ones. Because you are called, quote, outcasts. The same outcast is right here. Oh, shit. Right here. Outcast. Outcast. What else you say? This was coming to happen. This is what I'm coming to do with y'all. Because you're called outcast, Zion, from whom no one cares to tell you the truth. That's why Hosea salvation, Omar, me, speaking this to you. Why? Because I fucking care, man. I will give you back your health. We read that. We'll read this. The restoration of Israel and Judah. Nevertheless, all who devour you will be devoured. That's what I'm doing right now. Devouring these niggas. And all your adversaries. Every one of them will go off into exile. See? Those who plundered you, black man and black woman, white man and white woman, you will be plundered, and all who raided you will be raided. But I will restore you to health and heal your wounds, declares the Lord, because they call you an outcast, black and white. Berean Standard Bible, Exodus, saying, if you will listen, frequency, earth tone, man, woman. If you would listen carefully to the voice of the Lord, Yah, your what? Allah, arm, leg, arm, head, spirit. That means the frequency in a body. And do what is right in his eyes, not one eye. In his eyes, plural, meaning more than one eye. There might be 1,000 of them. But do what is right and pay attention. It's not free. You got to pay attention. It's not free to his commandments. How do you pay attention? You sacrifice shit that removes your attention. That's how you pay it. You go to 10 commandments. 1. That's how you pay attention. That's how you pay attention to his commandments. You go to the first one, and you do what? Keep his statutes. Then he says what? E-Y-E, little pretty young thing, I will not bring on you any of the diseases I afflicted on niggas like Sinetta and on Egypt. Now, this is where Sinetta TV, Hebrew Israelites, and the other nigga. I will not bring on you any diseases I inflicted on you black Egyptians, or white, rich or poor, Christian or Islamic, Muslim, Hebrew, don't give a fuck. I ain't gonna inflict you, nigga, if you do my commandments. Now, if you don't do my commandments, I'm gonna fuck you over like I did them Egyptians who keeps coming to America with that bullshit. Hint, hint. Africa, Egyptian, let's get it. They hate God, man. Listen, right here. There's proof. They hate the word of God. But if you practice the commandments, I can save you, thus says the Lord. I will send my messenger. I will send a healing spirit. I will send a healing angel from amongst you. He won't come from out the sky with a bunch of wings that suck up his ass. He won't come sprinkling you with a bunch of defiled blood. He won't come from out the flames burning your shit off. He's gonna come from amongst your crowd. He gonna look like you niggas. That's what I found out. He gonna smell, eat, fart, shit just like you. Yep.
Average citizen who encountered the term of Ebonics during the Oakland controversy.
Ebonics stems from Egyptian Scientology.
Late night talk show hosts were, lampooning the term. And as a professional linguist, I was disheartened when I saw so many people mocking a term that referred to linguistic circumstances that I think should be better understood by the entire nation, but which have been the object of linguistic discrimination since the inception of slavery.
Slavery.
Slave descendants have a unique linguistic heritage in comparison to every other immigrant group that came to this country.
Listen.
African slaves, when they were captured, were often isolated linguistically from others that spoke their own mother tongue,
while they were on the west coast of Africa. Now, as I look at this, alright, my feed is about 10 seconds behind. Probably longer than that. That sucks. But while they were on the coast, west coast of Africa, now, logic tells me that while on the west coast of Africa, before their recorded history, we was just because I got out in the boat and stayed in Africa for 10 years don't make me African. And just because you left Africa and came over here and stayed here for 20 years don't make you a Lenape, the original people of the continent. You see the play, the game. You see the game in your earth tone when you don't see what the Mother Earth has produced for all of us equally. This literally says that while they were on the west coast of Africa, that when you got to Africa, nobody spoke the language of somebody else that visited 50 or 500 years prior that kept their language that's not African language. But since we can catch a ride back home, fuck it. I picked up some Zimbabwe, some Swahili, and some other shit and brought it back and hooked it up. We got proof of that. But these professors of diseases and ignorance still give us the Egyptian disease, the infliction of ignorance and stupidity. And God only has one eye instead of two.
While they were on the west coast of Africa, that linguistic isolation was also maintained on the ships during the Atlantic crossing. And as a result of that, not one indigenous African language has survived the Atlantic crossing
has survived the crossing intact. Not one language. Time out. I think there's a major play on the word or on the usage language. There's something freaky about the word language, because lingo and logo don't have an A. So if I say language or linguistics, you know what I mean? I log some stuff in, and then linguistically, I've obtained different vernaculars in my travel. So I picked up a couple linguistics. I found out some logics, and I created a vernacular that I can call a particular language if I so choose. So a language could be anybody's tool, whether I'm crossing the Atlantic or not. But the fact that I have linguistics, I have a lingo, as that lingers. See, lingo, lingering, lingerie, all is synonymous to who you are on the planet as a earth tone people who are being alive. Black don't fit in none of that. And nor do white.
Intact. Once they got here, it was illegal to teach them to read and write. For hundreds of years, slaves were denied access to education. As a result of that, many of the linguistic stereotypes, many of the negative linguistic stereotypes that people embrace regarding
African American English. Now you inflict it like the Egyptians.
Regarding
I can't hear you.
African American English, dismissing it as, you know, the language of someone who's being lazy or not attending to language.
You are being lazy.
Doesn't fully appreciate the linguistic isolation that slave descendants experienced is unlike any other immigrant group in this country.
When they were brought here, African Americans were segregated into plantations. That's what happened in the Caribbean also. And what they did was to invent new languages, new varieties, taking linguistic.
See? Invent. Linguistic properties. You did it then, why don't you want to do it now? Because you are diseased and inflicted like the Egyptians. If we don't create new varieties and take in linguistic properties, you'll always be inflicted by the diseases of your black Kemet history. Fast forward.
refer to as Africanisms that remain in Bahamian culture. We are an African people. You really see it coming out in the foodways, and you also see it in the language. And we want to ensure that our children are aware and know that they have a very, very rich legacy and history. Emphasizing that will go a long way in terms of helping children to know who they are.
It's really important to be able to show the connection between African American English and Caribbean English Creoles. The one thing I think about African Americans and Caribbean Americans is the longing to know. The longing to know.
Caribbean and African is two different things. Watch, let me show you.
Who are my people?
The language.
Linguistics just gives you that little extra something that you go like.
Now, New York University, Renee Black. Listen to her closely. Listen to her real closely.
Okay, I get it. I belong somewhere. I'm connected to something.
Oh yeah, man.
When I was gone on the road, I was gone a long time. Well, when I come back home, my baby, she said she's mine. She said she's mine. She said she's mine.
Hold
my
on, talk.
grandfather, my
Not an
grandmother,
African name.
I got to listen to them talking about things. You had to
Research the names of your original locations where you live at, especially down south. None of them are African.
We both have been free.
That's one
If you was in the north,
keynote.
you was kind of free. If you was in the south, you weren't free at all. You don't work all year for the people you're working for. You still ain't got nothing.
Still ain't got nothing.
You owe.
You still
You can't
owe.
go nowhere. You can't leave.
Can't leave.
This is probably what we're going through.
Disease and inflicted of Egyptians. Can't leave.
So in the early part of the 20th century, the South was mainly rural, and about 90% of the African American population was living in the rural South. You had Jim Crow laws, you had institutional segregation. However, you had a lot of contact because they shopped in the same general stores, they worked alongside each other.
See? Right there. This is not Google. This white guy is not Google, man. Just like this black guy is not Barnes and Noble. These two niggas ain't got shit to do with the global decisions. That's why they both sit on the corner. It's called black and white trash. For real. Look at that picture on my screen. Look at that. If that ain't epic, I gotta take a picture. I gotta screenshot that. I had a funny ass color on my screen. It fixed. Welcome to one person that's watching. Big ups. We just get one. We cool with that. But we know that they call him white trash. They put his ass in the city, and they put the black man in the city and said, here's your Bible, now go kill each other. Because I got schools for you. I got jobs, guns, drugs, and I got some ideas that's going to keep you killing each other. Then I'm going to create some laws for you white and black people called domestic violence. Then I'm going to tell one person, I'm going to give you a Jim Crow law, and I'm going to tell the other person that Jim Crow don't exist. And then when you go back to the table, you look at each other crooked, not knowing that the devil himself is creating an animosity between these two souls. The poor white man and the poor black man. And the thing between these two is they both got a poor bitch behind them. Because the system considered the black woman and the white woman their bitch. Because while they out here arguing, fighting over the size of their dick and their guns and whatever cars and Chevys and gold chains and music, I got your bitch and your kids bent over backwards. Facts. You're an outcast, black and white people. You're not truthful. You're not real. You're made up. You're a fucking joke. You're a circus. The religion is a circus. Everything in black and white America is not real. African American history, white American history, it's fake. Okay? It's a disease.
Each other as tenant farmers in the field. So you had linguistic contact there.
Listen.
So what we consider to be now present-day African American vernacular English is quite different than what we saw in speakers who were born, say, 100 years ago.
See? Different.
Wherever they...
So she said, now he's saying wherever there were African slaves, right? So 100 years ago, why would they stop talking their original language? Why would they do that? Because they had to fit in with what? White trash. Because white trash, because they was pale skin, had a little more juice in the system. So yes, they had to migrate in language, thought, action, deed, sex. Now, I'm totally overwhelmed in the great melting pot of America. I forgot about that word, the great melting pot. They don't teach it no more. They don't teach the great melting pot called America no more. They don't. Because if you knew the teachings of what they called America the melting pot, then this would confirm where you get African slaves from. And where you get white slaves from. Because black slaves, African slaves, and white slaves are three different classes. But over time, you mix them, you have a type of society that you got to name sooner or later. They haven't named it yet. The new society coming.
Were African slaves, they contributed to shaping American English. And then came Jim Crow, and then the Great Migration, and something that had emerged in the southeastern part of the United States was spread.
So what does Africa do? He come from Africa to do what? To teach what? Deception. To have you thinking, because he's from Africa, he can teach you about your frequency on how to be a man on the planet. Nope. Because it hasn't changed.
For me, the Great Migration is captured in the stories about how lynching in the South and a lack of opportunities drove folks to pack up trucks and vans and suitcases and foot lockers.
See what he turned to?
in
See the
hopes
hat?
of achieving a better life here in the North.
Now, stop. What the fuck just happened? Damn. We'll start here. I've been there already. That's messed up. It was on the roll, y'all. It was on the roll.
If we look at what I refer to as Africanisms that remain in Bahamian culture, we are an African people. You really see it coming out in the foodways, and you also see it in the language.
Say 100 years ago.
Typically coming here to work and finding a home.
That won't let you down. It's my kind of town. And you can play like this.
For me, the Great Migration is captured in the stories about how lynching in the South and a lack of opportunities
We
drove
did, ran
folks
to the
to
Greeks,
pack up
see his hat,
trucks and vans and
Farrakhan,
suitcases and foot lockers
Jesse
in
Jackson.
hopes of achieving a better life here.
To achieve a better life in North, up in the North. Well, if you research Delaware Kings, ladies and gentlemen, if you research Delaware Kings and where you get Am, L, down. It ain't Amsterdam. It was a letter L before there was an R for L for God. Yeah. I shot that tree to y'all already too. So now that we leave from down south and establish Amsterdam down, right? That's when they damned the Spirit of God in New York, up north. Because they were looking for a better life. But they got damned. They got blocked. They got spiritually stopped. So the migration is going back down south with what? The knowledge of the North to go back down. So New York can go what? Underwater. New York is going to be destroyed once they leave. We're telling you to leave, man. Leave New York. It's time to go. The exodus will come out of New York, will come back through Pennsylvania, Philly, boom, boom. The wave will start collecting people as it goes by itself. But don't let the water, the flood, the tsunami they're making. The tsunami is man-made. It's called insurance money to pay for that $1 billion debt. That's a lot of insurance money. That's a major sacrifice for the people in New York. And is it God's plan? I'd say so. Because if God is the creator of all things. I mean, He's the architect of all outcomes. Better life, look.
Here in the north.
Better
They
life.
started coming just before World War I, and they didn't stop until
Look, better life.
maybe around the 1970s.
I don't think that African Americans at that time called it a migration. They called it an exodus. And on the cover of the Defender, that's what it says, Exodus.
Time to go back. We know the way to go back home.
And that's how they left, with the hope of finding a promised land.
Hope what? A promised land, specifically what? Coming here to work. Now, what have you gained if God has not fulfilled His word? You'll be inflicted with these diseases. You ain't got no further from the promised land than you started. You got no further. Don't get mad at the messenger. Don't get mad at the messenger. From the time you left Louisiana, let's talk black. Did you find the promised land? Well, let me know. Martin Luther King said he fucked up and led you to a burning building. That don't sound like promised land. Malcolm X said, I fucked up. I've been supporting a criminal organization. That definitely don't sound like promised land. The Most High said He don't deal with Canaanites because they're ancestral lust by nature. And the Moorish Americans' lodge is rooted in lodge of Canaan. That for surely is not promised land according to God's will. Money didn't get the black man the promised land. Gold, cars, clothes. I'm looking at it. That don't look like no promised land to me. And when I'm looking at when I go outside, that's not promised land. That looked like a disease. Brought in by English settlers and English conquerors. And when y'all got up to New York, Philadelphia, you niggas lost your mind and turned niggas into black Englishmen. Now you're high-class trash. Look at the picture. And you go outside. It ain't changed, nigga. You the same niggas. That's why they got doppelgangers and clones and shit like, Motherfuckers ain't gonna do nothing different. We'll keep using the same niggas till somebody wake up. And that's what they've been doing till today. 10:44. Same clones. You know different. You didn't grow not an inch. A promised land specifically, coming here to work. And that's exactly what you you've been doing since then. Work, work, work. Work, 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 work. Shimmy, dammy, 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 work, 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 work. Dammy, 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 work, work, work. And everything is, you need a job. You need a job. So what? So I can look like this. Okay. Oh, now it's like, now you need to get your money up so I can look worse than this with bigger jewelry, a bigger hat, and more colorful shoes. Now I'm better than I was 200 years ago because now I look like a fucking Skittle. Okay. You see the Pink Panther development? Pittsburgh. Alright. You know what? Can I change the subject for a hot second, y'all? Well, I'd like to change the subject for a hot second. Speaking of morals, where's that at? Morals, where's that at? He sent forth his what? Word. Not work, nigga. And healed them. Work didn't heal you, nigga. The word of truth healed you. He rescued you from the pit. I'm in Pittsburgh. The corridor to the rest of America. The East Coast. Look to my right and see. No one tends to me. There's no refuge for me. No one cares for my soul. And that's your promised land. And that was your promise when you came here to work. There was no care for your soul, just your labor. You see that? There was no care for my soul, just my labor and my pee hole. That's it. Don't give a fuck about you. They said. We just want to take your gifts, called Pandora. To all those witches and warlocks and magicians trying to take my gifts and put them in your Pandora's box. Ain't that a bitch? How about this? We're going to take your box and you and your gifts, put them all in another box, and crush it to dust and throw it away.
Specifically, coming here to work and finding a whole different level of segregation and racism that wasn't what they had experienced in the South.
That's right, because you came to work.
You couldn't live next door to a white person or a white family.
Right, because you came
so
to work.
Over the 3 waves of the migration, literally 500,000 people were confined to living in one area.
So see how you live when you come to work?
Why does Black English exist?
Why do Black English exist? Just told you. Because you came up here to work. You didn't come up here for God. You didn't come to be healed from slavery. You didn't come to be rescued from the pit. You came to work. Groceries, delicacies, cigarettes, hats, clothing. The whole picture tells you why Black English exists right here. Why? Because when you look to your right and see no one's a 10. Nobody. Don't nobody want to be around those stinky niggas because you working all day. You ain't got time for God. Sabbath. But you work all year round and party. No one tempts me. Hell no. I'm the slave master. What the fuck I look like coming to talk to you, nigga? You came to work. I put you to work. Why you mad? You said you come from down south up here to my shit to work. I put you to work. Now you upset. If that ain't some crackhead shit, I don't know what it is. You can't get high on the job, nigga. No one cares for my soul. Absolutely not. You work. I'm here as a capitalist to make sure I get all the work I can get out your ass since you came all the way to fuck up here. Because I didn't have room for all you niggas before 1 million and you came up here. Now you done put me to work and I don't like it. So I'm going to catch up on some sleep and get all you new niggas big hats you don't deserve and control these other niggas while I go get high and fuck my dog, cat, and my little cousin. That's what they do. Let's see what history says. Oriental, part 3.
Isolation. For a population to develop its own variety of language, there has to be some kind of apartness. Whenever people are apart, they diverge culturally and linguistically.
See, when we break
and
away
the
from
period of
this
the Great
shit,
Migration, which started around
See?
World War I and continued till after World War II, you had a mass exodus of people leaving the South. then you have African Americans living in...
Stop. You mean to tell me all them people is stuck with Ebonics? You're right. You mean to tell me all those souls don't have one genetic linguistic code in them? From New York to LA, from Louisiana up to Detroit. Y'all notice it's too cold up in them corners. I said, fuck that. Detroit cold enough. Ain't going no further than Detroit, I guess, huh? Till that bitch stall, we ain't going up there. We ain't going up there. I got you. I'm with you. I ain't going that far either. Nope. So, linguistically, you mean to tell me that nobody kept a genetic marker in their soul that God controls of our indigenous frequency, our indigenous connection to the earth tone that is in all men and all women from the day one to the day fucked up? Nobody can convince me that, man. Not one person on this planet can convince me of that, and they should not be able to convince you. That you mean to tell me that the white man was so powerful, the devil was so powerful, that he could literally go into your DNA and take God's language out of you without your permission? Yeah. You definitely a black person. You believe that? You definitely black. You know what? Don't even comment. Just stay right where the fuck. Keep your black ass right where you at. Don't you fucking move. Just pick your children up and just go jump in the hellfire. Tell y'all something. I'm irritated right now. Can I share with y'all why I'm irritated? I ain't never enjoyed living off of somebody else's coattail. Never. Living off somebody's coattail. Nah. Never knew the real purpose of living in somebody's shadow. Anyway, I'm irritated. I pays my motherfucking rent. For some reason, every time I pay rent, man, I get fucked. I don't understand. I don't understand this shit, man. All my life, I've always heard, pay your rent. And things are supposed to work like this. When you pay your rent, it's supposed to like that, and you pay your rent, you pay your bills, you do this, and man, every time I pay my rent, man, I get fucked. Straight up. I pay all the fucking bills, bringing all the food, whatever the fuck. I make sure there's hustle. I fucking, here, take it all, man. It's just, chill out. Always some fuck shit. What brings me today, for a whole week, no hot water in this fucking building, man. There's homeless people. I mean, there's homeless people that go fresh off the streets, cool. There's people that are sick, like they don't wash their ass. They're drug addicts. Like, I'm not saying anything better good about them. It's just we need water to keep this shit clean, man. So now we got a whole 7 days of motherfuckers not cleaning, not wiping shit down, their body, grabbing their balls, shit. Man. I pay rent on time every month. Shit gets stolen. Report shit, man. I got mold thick as motherfucking tennis balls and shit in my things. They won't fix it. I need new. Man, this shit's horrible, man. Just this past 3 days, man, I didn't see a bone. Damn, there's 6 brand new baby roaches and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? What's going on with the black and white people that's in exile or degraded? Well, fuck. No moral value. My fault. Never mind. Shit. That's why I don't like black and white people. They're morally dejected, man. Straight up. Once you get used to this map of how many quote-unquote African Americans are on the fucking continent. And these are the ones they just happen to find out. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 hot spots. That means there's 14 generations. We count again. New York, Philly, D.C., 3. Pittsburgh, 4. Ohio, 5. Detroit, 6. Those 2. 7, 8. Chicago, 9. Whatever that is 10. Louisiana is 11. LA is 12. And Sacramento is 13. 13 tribes dispersed in America. There's 13 tribes dispersed in America, and they're in New York, Philly, D.C., Detroit, Chicago, Los Angeles, Sacramento, Louisiana, Mississippi. This is where your blood is deep in it. And out of these 13 hotspots are only 4 spiritual kings. There's only 4. Only 4.
Concentrated
Cleveland, there you go.
areas in these urban
Kansas
areas
City,
in the north.
St. Louis, there you go.
But they didn't have the same kind of contact that they had previously with the white population.
Diverge culturally and linguistically.
In the period of the Great Migration,
500,000 people were confined to living in one area.
I knew Kansas City was so close.
Why does Black English exist? Isolation. For a population to its own variety of language, there has to be some kind of apartness.
Period.
Whenever people are
in order to get our language back together, we get to isolate from everybody else.
Linguistically.
Period. Or it ain't going to happen.
In the period of the Great Migration, which started around World War I and continued till after World War II, you had a mass exodus of people leaving the South. Then you had African Americans living in concentrated areas in these urban areas of the North.
There we go. St. Louis, Kansas City. There you go. These are gateways. Oh, I thought that was Sacramento. Oakland, same thing, Bay Area. I've been there. I've been here. I've been there. I ain't been there yet. I've been here, I believe. I've been in all them. I ain't been to Cleveland. I've been through Cleveland. I've been there. I haven't been to these ones yet. I've met all of you except for maybe 3 or 4. Not yet.
But they didn't have the same kind of contact that they had previously with.
When people scrammed into a narrow band of land at its height. So you had people in kitchenettes and piled on top of one another, commerce everywhere, restaurants, clubs, businesses, etc. And so you had a very vibrant, though repressed community, was a very vibrant community.
All right, now, you know I got to show this. Failures by society, rejected by God because of moral failure. Teen mob dance on cars and streets. I just want to show y'all something different in our culture now. Bang. Here you go. Let's look at the black hustle. Let's look at it. Let's look at it. Let's look how beautiful black has become. Come on, let's go. I'm black and I'm proud. Let's get it. Let's play this shit. my volume at? Oh, see, that's the bullshit. Let's play the shit. Downtown Chicago. Let's see what they did. Go back, fuck it. That's why I don't like. That's why I don't like Microsoft, man. Fuck you, Microsoft. Straight up. Always make shit difficult. I'm fucking with y'all. I'm sticking with them. Teen mob dances on cars. Oh my goodness.
Here are phone numbers for phone cars near Pittsburgh.
Interesting video going viral online shows a teen driver ramp Sims. It's been viewed nearly 8 million times in total across several social media platforms. Gabby Easterwood joins us live from the Sims Walmart parking lot where it all went down. Gabby, you spoke with the woman who took the video.
Yeah, Dana, the woman that I spoke with, her name is Cookie, and she took that crazy video. She's
And that's shit about TikTok. I mean, a white boy hitting cars. See Oprah Winfrey? Right? She in the middle. That's the devil. You know, I'll tell you what I know. I've seen her before. There was a video. Anyway, there was a video that showed but if you look, she knows what's going on. She definitely knows what's going on. She knows what's going on. He's been paying attention. See the ones looking at the camera? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Something, they're not liking it. They're talking. She's saying this is some bullshit. She's saying these motherfuckers ain't real. She looking like I'm just sitting here because I'm watching this whole fuck thing out for develop. And she just fed up with this shit. She just saying I'm here because it's a photo moment to let you know I don't like this shit. And my man, he always in the cut. He's like, yeah, I'm watching you, nigga. I'm watching you. Let it play.
These blacks came from the South and brought with them the linguistic properties that in their speech that they learned in the South.
A good majority of the African Americans in this community, their families originated from the South. They migrated here. I would say 4 or 5 people that you see that be African American in this community. Probably you go back 2 generations, their family was from the South, you know.
This area here is the entering stage of that early period of the limits of the black community, close to the downtown area.
But check this out. His name speaks for itself. Tim U.L. Black. What did granddad do? What did granddad do? His name was Tim U.L. Black. Of the black community closest to the downtown area. Tim U.L. Black. What is a Tim U.L.? Let's find it out. I'm curious. Let's find out the etymology of Tim. Find out who is Tim U.L. I'm curious. I'm getting a little frustrated. I'm about to close this out. Just drop some jewels on y'all. Y'all put together. All right, I'm gonna do my other computer. See if we do us a little bit more justice. So you see, outcast colors. Black and white people are outcasts. We come for the white trash and the black trash. Everybody else can go to hell. So that's the end of that story. Wow. What the fuck just happened? New Eve, etymology of Tim. Timuel. To honor God. Tim is a Mexican name for Greek origin honoring God. This classic nickname is commonly derived from Timothy, which itself comes from the Greek name Timothos, combining the words Timeo and Theos, meaning to honor and God respectively. So, Mr. Timmy is to honor God being black. So they gave him the name Black for the last name and add Tim to his original UL. Amazing. Our system is shot, y'all. It's shot. It's shot. It's shot. Everything is stuck, man. Catch y'all up later. I did the best that I could right now.